Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I'm your host, Denise, and before I get into my review for this week, I've got to tell you who my favorite actor is. My favorite actor this week is Robert Mitchum, and the movie that I love but hate because he is such a believable, scary, creepy character is the movie Cape Fear. And, you know, as an actor in terms of aesthetics or physicality, he just had that creepy look to him with those, those eyes that were kind of droopy, and he just always looked scary and menacing to me whenever I saw him on screen. And in this movie, Cape Fear, wow, was he really, really scary. So Robert Mitchum is my favorite actor this week. All right, folks, I'm going to jump into my review, and my review is the movie Frankenstein. Wow. This movie was directed by Guillermo del Toro, and this is the 2025 version. So I know Frankenstein, the movie, has probably been made, I don't know how many times. 10, 12, I don't know how many times, but this modern day version was really, really good. The movie has a running time of 2.5 hours. So if you got time, you want to check this one out. It just came out not too long ago. It stars Oscar Isaac as the Dr. Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi, who is the creature, Christoph Waltz, who is like a mentor, and Mia Goth and Felix Kramerer round out the central cast of this film. So this film, of course, if you know the Frankenstein history, a brilliant, egotistical scientist brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creature and his creator. Now, when the movie starts, it starts with a huge ship, a vessel that has been shipwrecked and stuck in quite an iceberg near the North Pole. So the crew of this ship is Danish, and they are on their way to the North Pole, but obviously they're stuck in ice and are trying their best to free themselves. And out into the distance, they notice a fire way out into the distance. So they go out to investigate, and they see that a team of sled dogs are okay, but some type of accident has occurred. And in looking around the scene, they see that someone has been severely injured. So they rescue this person and bring them onto their ship to try to give them some aid. Well, it turns out that person is Dr. Frankenstein. Not soon after, all heck breaks loose because out into the distance, even further, they hear a really, really loud sound of something that sounds like, something they've never heard before. And what happens is that is our creature, and he's looking for Dr. Frankenstein, and he's not going to stop until he finds him. So that sort of sets the scene. That sets the stage for what's going to happen in this film. So once the two of them actually kind of come face to face, it is now time for, well, put it this way, the captain of this vessel is asking, Dr. Frankenstein, how did all of this happen? Why are you on the run? What's going on? Tell me your story. And he does. So the movie is broken up into tale number 1 and tale number 2, so to speak. So Dr. Frankenstein proceeds to tell us his story, which I thought was very, very intriguing and interesting for me, because in the older Frankenstein films, at least the ones that I saw many, many years ago, I did not get this level of detail of how he became this, very intelligent and very skilled scientist, but he had a childhood. So as he begins to tell his story, he's starting all the way back from childhood and then moving forward. And so once he gets to the point where, hey, I am the cat's meow of scientific inventions, and I think that I can bring folk back to life, just from taking pieces of cadavers of dead humans and just putting them together, I can create something magical. So of course we see very early on, he is on a mission, and he will not be deterred. And so you fast forward, and he creates the monster, and Christoph Waltz's character is sort of like his mentor in terms of he's a doctor who knows anatomy, and he knows how the structures mend together, and how the nervous system and circulatory system, all of those things come together to create one and something very unique and fabulous in their minds. That is where he gets a lot of his courage to do what he's doing. And so once he finds dead folks, I won't tell you how he came to find so many, and so many that he had choices. Okay, so he wasn't just going out and digging up people from the grave. In this particular film, he had a lot to choose from. Let's put it that way. And so the monster, the creature is created. And the way that he is created, when you see how he is put together, oh my gosh, the visuals are just amazing. And that is Jacob Elordi as he now becomes present in the film. And so you see that once this creature is created, you want the creature to behave a certain way and do certain things as if it were human, but you've got to put in the time and be willing to nurture this creation so that it will do what you want it to do. And that's where Dr. Frankenstein failed. And so in tale 2, you have the creature who is saying, well, wait a minute, I've got a story to tell too. Listen to my account of how all of this went down. And so again, you have the creature explaining his side of this story and how he escaped and how he learned how to be compassionate and caring to those who showed that to him. So it was received very well, and how he learned how to read and how he became intelligent, but not at the hands of Dr. Frankenstein. So this is how the film progresses. And I was not clock watching. At 2.5 hours, I wanted to know this story. I wanted to hear what both of these individuals had to say and how their relationship got to the point where it just fell apart. So I'm telling you folks, the visuals, extraordinary. Impressive, realistic. The set design, very big and vast and bold. The casting was great. The costumes, everything about it was just magnificent. Jacob Elordi, by the way, is well over 6 feet tall. I think 6'3", 6'5", or something. So not only his real physical presence was seen on film, but once he became the creature, he just looked larger than life in certain scenes. And I thought that was just so interesting. It was a gripping storytelling visual. It just really was. And like I said, I just hung on every word of this film. And at the end, I found myself, I'm like, I feel kind of sorry for the Dr. Frankenstein, because of the situation that he's in now in terms of his physical presence at the end of the movie. And then the creatures, like, you feel, man, you got a raw deal here, man. You just wanted a life that was given to you. You didn't ask for it. You wanted a companion. Doctor couldn't deliver. You couldn't die. So you're in quite a quandary yourself. So graphic, yes. Bloody, yes. The sound effects, incredible. So when you go to see this film, I saw it just in standard film, but if you see it in IMAX, you're going to hear all of those sounds of, bones cracking and, people blood curdling screams and all of those things. You're going to hear that. And if you got a, Boss sound system in your home, even better. So when it does come out on DVD at some point, you want to check that out. So that is my review. I'm going to jump into my nailed it. And since, I'm on this creepy kind of scary, road right now, my nailed it is the movie, the visual effects from the movie, The Substance, with Demi Moore. Graphic, grotesque, bloody, but I'm telling you, if you're going to have those elements in a film, you got to come correct and make it as realistic as possible. And The Substance did just that. So that is my nailed it. All right, folks, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, I am available on BlueSky at HYSI. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.